are some tanks here, and they are filled with diesel and other kinds.
A fuel depot near Lviv. It's on fire after an alleged Russian missile attack. A CNN reporter is live at the scene.
From the scene here, but you see the smoke and the flames billowing.
But many on Twitter believe the report is a fake. CNN is pretending that a fire in Edmonton, Canada is an attack in Ukraine, writes one user. And another user says, live from Edmonton, Ukraine. A fireman in the background is wearing a jacket with Edmonton written on it. But other users quickly found out why. In 2017, the Edmonton Fire Department donated 600 fire protection suits and other equipment to Ukraine. The aid project Firefighter Aid Ukraine still exists today. Its head, Kevin Royal, confirmed to DW.
We've shipped over hundreds of sets. We've shipped to thousands of sets of turnout gear to Ukraine and to other countries. And in a lot of cases, those communities don't remove or don't require their markings to be removed. I could show you several examples of an identical jacket being used in evolutions over in Ukraine and in other countries. I can show you tons of examples of Toronto's equipment being used in Ukraine and in other countries.
So this video is real, but this is by no means the case for everything we see from the Ukraine at the moment. Thousands of fakes and false claims are circulating about the war in Ukraine. Let us show you how to recognize the fakes and how you can protect yourself against war propaganda.
Auch nicht auf österreichischer Ebene.
Take this video, for example. It allegedly shows that the incident in Ukraine is staged. An alleged Ukrainian corpse moves as the reporter speaks. More than 3.5 million people saw the video on Facebook alone. But it's been manipulated. The audio track has been swapped out to make people believe it's from Ukraine. The reporter's name, Marvin Bergauer, displayed on the bottom left, leads us to the TV station OE24 via a Google search. And there we quickly find the original video. It is from Austria and shows an event by climate activists in Vienna in early February. A lot of the other content is also older or from somewhere else entirely. The videos and images are repurposed and simply posted in a new and false context. As in this case, a huge explosion can be seen in Kharkiv, claims a TikToker. And on Facebook, the video allegedly shows the bombing of the Ukrainian headquarters. Both are wrong. The material is from Lebanon and shows the massive explosion in the port of Beirut in August 2020. You might still remember the images yourself. And you can find this out quickly with a reverse image search, for example, with Yandex. The same applies here. This is a photo of Kiev Mayor Vitaly Klitschko. It went viral in the first days of the war and has been shared again and again ever since. It allegedly shows him defending his country at the front line. However, the picture is already a year old. Klitschko himself posted it on Instagram in March 2021, showing him exercising with Ukrainian reservists. Other fakes can be even more misleading. So-called deep fakes are something like the highest art of deception. Videos and images are manipulated with the help of artificial intelligence. Here, Russian President Vladimir Putin allegedly announces peace with Ukraine.
Только что прошли переговоры с украинской стороной.
But Putin didn't say that. The images are from his speech before the start of the war, but the audio track has been changed. You can find the original video by doing a reverse image search. If you then compare both videos, you can see a lot of similarities, like the same hand movement at one point, for example. Twitter has since flagged the video as manipulated. The same thing happened to the president of Ukraine.
Бути президентом виявилося не так вже й легко.
Here, Volodymyr Zelensky announces the surrender of Ukraine. Wrong again, another deepfake, not as sophisticated as Putin's, but it was placed on the website of the Ukrainian TV broadcaster Ukraine 24 by hackers. If you take a closer look, Zelensky's head looks weirdly positioned on the body. The body proportions themselves aren't right either. His shoulders are stiff and do not move at all throughout the entire video. Using a reverse image search, we are able to find the original image. It's from a press conference with Zelensky on March 3rd. The photo served as the basis for the AI-assisted manipulation of the head and the movements which seem artificial. The video is a fake. President Zelensky has become the face of the Ukrainian resistance to the Russian invasion through his daily videos. That's why he's the #1 target for fakes and Russian propaganda now. For example, it is repeatedly claimed that Zelensky has fled and that he secretly left Kiev and was hiding with the Americans. Some users claim to show which plane he left Ukraine on. Others claim that Zelensky fakes that he is still in Kiev and shoots his videos in front of a green screen, just like this one. The rumors are fueled by the Russian government. Russian Duma speaker Vyacheslav Volodin said Zelensky had already fled at the end of February, according to the Russian state news agency. Again, this is wrong. Much of the alleged evidence for this theory has been tampered with, like this video. Zelensky has been seen again and again in Kiev. He even seems to consciously integrate places and objects into his video that make it possible to determine the place and the time of the recording. The location of this recording can be verified via Google Maps. It is the house with the chimeras, an Art Nouveau building in the center of Kiev. In addition, on March 3rd, Zelensky gave a press conference to international journalists in Kiev. And on March 21st, he gave an interview to the broadcasting network EBU, also in Kiev. We are meant to be influenced by government propaganda, drawn to one side of the war. The same is happening here. The Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman, Maria Zakharova, claims that Russia is not bombing cities in Ukraine. She claims that images showing this are manipulated videos from NATO countries. A false statement that mocks the many civilian victims of the war in Ukraine. More than 1,000 civilians have been killed since the outbreak of the war, according to official UN figures. The number of unreported cases is assumed to be very high.
Private houses, multi-story residential buildings, administrative buildings, medical and education facilities, water stations, electricity systems have all been destroyed on a massive scale.
The port city Mariupol was destroyed like no other place in Ukraine, as were this hospital and maternity ward that were bombed on March 9th. Eyewitnesses confirmed the attack to DW, and satellite images show the destruction. Targeted attacks on the Ukrainian population are documented in detail with photos by the research network Bellingcat or the human rights observers of Truth Hounds. Here's the problem with false claims. Even if they are debunked at a later point, many people have already seen the propaganda and believe it. And this information war has long since gone beyond the actual combat zone in Ukraine. Here's an example from Germany. This woman says in a TikTok video that a 16-year-old Russian-born refugee helper at a train station in Euskirchen had been beaten up by Ukrainian refugees. The boy had later died from his injuries. But the police in Bonn said that there has been no such crime in Euskirchen.
Ganz wichtig ist jetzt, dass dieses Video nicht noch weiter geteilt wird. Die Verfasserin hat sich unserem Kenntnisstand nach mittlerweile davon distanziert. Sie sagt, dass sie selber einer Falschmeldung aufgesessen sei.
Здравствуйте, дорогие русскоговорящие друзья.
Later, the woman apologized in a second video. She found out that everything she had heard was a lie. Her source hated Ukraine and wanted to cause harm with the story. And unfortunately, this happens quite often. Fakes and propaganda manipulate opinions and people. Be careful what you share to help stop disinformation. Have you heard of more fakes on the Ukraine war? Then send us your examples at factchecking@dw.com.